Got to go to Love Land. Take my hand. Let me lead you to Love Land. Hello, friends. Hello, and welcome. Welcome to another reading over here on Loveland Tarot. We're going to be doing some work with the Fae today, the Fairies today. Playing a little bit in the magical realms. So I invite you to join me. Get settled. So we're going to be doing a couple of fun things. You know, on this channel, I try to make the intros not too long, but we don't jump in right away because I want you to focus on leaving your magical space and coming and joining me in mine so that you can receive messages that are meant just for you. It's very, very quiet here. And the board is set up specifically for this reading. I see 111 on my counter. We don't have cards out right away, and I'll share why here in just a second. So these are messages to help you hold on, keep going, because you're almost there. So this is the magic that the fairies and the fae want to share with us today. Let's take a deep breath together. As I wrap us all in love light and light love, inviting in the guides who are overlighting this reading, Archangel Metatron, Archangel Michael. Have the Swata Dudanan coming in. These are ancestors to many of us, myself included. The Celtic fairy worlds dropping in to grace us with their presence. And I just have some little sweets before I even pull out cards. We're going to put together a little offering for the Fae. So I was guided to put this little tablescape together today. I realized, okay, we need to do a little bit of space clearing. Do a little bit of space clearing. A little rattle. Maybe do a little clearing for you. Take another deep breath. Got a drawer full of cards and talismans and fun stuff. I'm going to light a little lemon candle. We've been working with the lemon Fairies of Lemonlock over on my storytelling channel. That's where I kind of do more work out of I do a lot of ASMR storytelling and crystal Reiki healing and stuff out of from the books that I write and that I channel. So maybe the Fairies of Lemonlock want to play in this reading, but before we pull out cards, I was guided to bring in a little offering for them. So, you know, as I show cards, I may just bop into the left-hand side of your screen and show you what we're doing because I like to do my readings kind of standing and moving around. So I was guided to bring in a little star anise. So this is our little offering bowl we're going to be using. So you may be guided to leave a little gift for the Fae. I'm hearing whippoorwill. Is that a real bird? Oh, this star anise. I don't know about something about it, but it smells so good. And look, it looks so magical. Even my dog wants to smell it. She's coming over right now to smell it. What is that? You can't eat that. It smells like licorice. We're going to put that in our offering bowl. It looks like the North Star. No, don't start. I'm about to put you out. All right, to me, this looks like a North Star. Like, keep following your dreams, keep following your heart. So already the messages starting to come through. This is messages of willpower and bravery to keep going. The next thing I've been guided to, I've got a little ASMR going on this channel too. The next thing I've been guided to leave them is my big kids, Sour Patch Kids, soft and chewy candy 2 times bigger than original Sour Patch Kids. This is one of my favorite candies, so just a little child's play. This whole thing doesn't have to be so serious, this whole journey. I'm just gonna reach my hand in and see which little Sour Patch Kid wants to come out. Yeah, all right, we got, these are not as well defined as the smaller ones, but we got the orange big Sour Patch Kid. There he is. So we're working a little bit with the sacral chakra here. I have a lot to share about that. So we're going to put that kid in our offering bowl. And then I have a huge box of crystals. They're all like, I don't know. Anyway, a huge box of crystals, and I reached my hand in. I said, what crystals want to come out and join me here for this reading? And I got these. So let's open this little package up and see who we've got in here. We've got the Boji stones. Man, I've been looking for these. I haven't played with all of these crystals in this box in quite some time, many, many years. So this is about divine feminine, divine masculine, kind of being in balance. These are not the magnetic ones, but they do have, if you kind of play with them a little bit, here we're going back to play, they do have this energy where they kind of want to be next to each other. So we're going to just put them up here. What is in here? I don't even know what these are. It's a little green stone. Some sort of agate or green crystal. We'll put him here. So maybe they just want to play out on the board. Oh, and another dual. Wow, where was I going with this? This is like a heart stone. And look at this. Wow. Oh, this is a very cute point. I don't even remember some of these, getting some of these. Sometimes I look at these crystals, I'm like, I don't even remember where some of these came from. This is a little three-pointer guy here. Super cute. Love it. I think I'm going to put that, just amplify the energies and put that in my offering bowl. Yeah, we're going to move that off to the side. And then what is in this guy? These are also, we're working a lot with the lower chakras here in terms of holding on. So we have this, everything in this red bag, all about the root chakra, releasing fear about when is this thing going to come? Why isn't it here yet? Can I keep holding on? And then this little brown bag kind of almost reminds me of our Earth Star chakra, which has to do with our connection to Gaia. Maybe there's a little bit of shamanic stuff going on in this bag. But look at this little, it's like a sunstone heart. Cute. Don't even remember where I got this from, but it's super cute. Yeah, I'll put that in the middle on our tree. And then there's others in here that I just honestly do not remember what their names are. This has some sort of a G name, maybe? I don't know. But it's super shiny. So I'll put that there. And there's a couple of other little ones. I'll just put them over here. And we'll move these off to the side. And now I think we are sufficiently jazzed and ready. I'm going to put this little, we'll use this. Oh yeah, this is our Reiki stone. So if you would like to receive some crystal Reiki healing while you're listening and watching, this reading, then this is our conduit for that. So you just have to accept the healing, and we will activate this guy right now to be emanating crystal Reiki healing for you as you are watching. So we'll just set him there, him or her, it, them, we, I don't know. Look at that. None of that really matters. All right. I'm going to take a sip of water. Just make sure you're hydrated too. As you're having some of these lower chakra concerns, you may a little bit kind of forget to take care of yourself. Let's make sure you're staying with your self-care. All right, we're going to try to use some decks that emanate the fairy realms. So let's see what messages we have. What other messages, because we've already gotten quite a few, do we have for our friends here for messages to help you keep going? So we're bringing in Tarot at the End of the Rainbow. Now, the majority of the decks I use on this channel are my own personal decks that I design and create. Links to anything I talk about on this show, the storytelling channel, my cards, all of that, whoops, one just flew way out, are always in the description of my show notes. Wow, I had to like walk really far for this. Oh, of course. See, this is what we were just talking about. This is like, you're almost there. This is the Hangman. But what I like about it is, I mean, hold on, let me just grab this pointer. He's like barely, I mean, there's like a little vine around his ankle or something, like barely still in a suspended state. And there's this fairy kind of overseeing everything. So, and the pot of gold is like super close. The lid is off. All the gold inside is visible. The rainbow is like right there. So it's the pot of gold. Like you're so close. I mean, there's just so many chills. When I get chills, if you're new here, that's my confirmation. I just saw 1221. That's mirrored energy coming through on the timer. You're so close. That mirrored energy, there's a big balance. You're balanced. You're ready for this manifestation, this thing that you want. This is balanced energy right here. You're just so close, but there's nothing you have to do here. I mean, look at the hands are even like already in the rainbow. The last reading we did, we talked about, was it on this channel? Heck, I don't remember. Yeah, we talked about double rainbows. The otherworldly guides, whoever you work with, your guides, the angels of the higher realms are all working with you here. And they're saying, can you just trust us and hold on? We're going to put this. Can you just trust us and hold on? It's like it's almost coming. Yeah. All right. What else? And you may be saying that too. So the way I said it was like, yeah, all right. And believe me, I've been doing that too. Every time I hear these similar messages, I've been like, yeah, all right. And I just saw 1331. So more mirrored. And when I say mirrored energy, it's like there's a 13 and then the 31 is like the mirror to the 13. So when we get mirrored energy like that, it's like perfectly balanced. It's time. It's like they just keep saying it's time. But you have to wait just a little bit longer. So give me an analogy for those friends listening here of what that means when because you know, they always like to have that analogy. The angels and the guides always like to give us that analogy, like manifestation, like, you know, you put your order into the kitchen and the kitchen is like the universe cooking up your manifestation, and it's almost time. When they deliver it to you, you know, you're going to deliver it to your table in the perfect and divine timing. And so where are we at in this ordering process now? They're saying it's kind of like, oh, fuck. Okay. They're saying it's like your order's ready. So like the chef it's chef prepared food, very organic and like high vibe dish that they're bringing you. Like the highest, even better than you expected. So they're saying it's like you ordered the regular salad and they're bringing you like this organically grown salad from the garden that the chef plants in the back of the restaurant in the, what is that space? Like the Victory Garden kind of thing. So it's like it's like the chef's best organically grown Victory Garden salad. And he's just plated it up and he's rang that bell where they're kind of like, order up Victory salad for table number 33. I'm going to give it 33. Because you've been co-creating with the universe, and that's kind of like a universal co-creation type of angel number. But these guys are so funny. But like your waiter went on break. Oh, Lord have mercy. You guys are killing me. It's like your order's ready, but your waiter went on break for a few minutes. And so you have to wait. What's my waiter doing while he's on break? Is he doing anything high vibe? Oh boy. So your waiter's on break and he's like, oh, that's nice. He's singing mantras over the Victory Garden, like spreading love and light outside while he's on break. So he's doing service work. So your waiter's super high vibe, and the being that's going to bring you deliver your order. But your waiter's on break right now. So your Victory salad is like sitting there on a like a, what is that thing? Like on ice, so to speak, but like crystal ice. Not that it's not coming, but they're keeping it nice and cold so that when you get it, it's like, first of all, it's a surprise because they're like, oh, your chef upgraded. Monica, this isn't even a reading. What is this, a one card reading? It's like your chef upgraded your order. So when this guy gets in from his break, from like spreading mantras over the Victory Garden, he's gonna say your chef upgraded your order and he made you this organic salad from our Victory Garden. And it's going to be all crispy and cool because they've had it like sitting on this little ice. And you're going to be like, wow. And it's like super high vibe because every time the waiter goes on break, he like goes and says mantras and affirmations over the Victory Garden as part of his service to Source. And so everything about the experience, and it's so high vibe, I even feel like lightheaded a little bit. Okay, let's take another deep breath. But now how to get out. So it's not just the Fae delivering this message because they're helping us. I can't even talk. Stay a little grounded in this message because it's so high vibe. Like I'm reaching out. I'm reaching up, and this message is also coming from the Elohim, which are our creator, builder, and angels, angelic realm. And so it's so high vibe, it like scrambles my brain a little bit when the messages come through because I'm like, we're acting as a divine conduit to bring these messages to you. All right, do we want to give them another card? Whew. How long is this reading already? 18 minutes. Okay, so are we even close enough? I want to just get in a little closer. Okay. So I'm going to bring in, sorry for all the sniffling too, right? We're going to bring in the Loveland, but maybe you're laughing a little bit along with me because that was a really fun analogy. We're going to bring in my deck, Loveland, add to this reading, and it's already pretty high vibe. And I look around too, as I'm reading, and channeling, it's more channeling than reading, so to speak, but I'm looking out the window, like, is there anything, that Spirit has passing by that is part of this reading? Oh, sorry, sniffles. Okay, Marakereteka. All right, what else? So we got 2 cards from Loveland Tarot. This is not Love. I keep saying Loveland Tarot. I am working on a tarot deck for this Loveland series. So this is a spring pack. There's a summer pack of which I do not have yet. I have not ordered it yet. And I'm working on the tarot deck for this. But let's see what's going to pop up here. So the first thing we got is alternate dimensions. When you just know you've met somewhere before. Focus over here, camera. is my camera having a hard time focusing? When you just know you've met somewhere before. This has come out before. What does this have to do with anything? They're saying take a look at it first before I just flop it down. So let's enjoy this journey, number one. Oh, I know where this is going. Okay. This little bear that I drew over here reminds me almost of the, hold on, what is it? This kid that I put in here, the Sour Patch Kids. I think I know where this is going, so hold on. Let's just look at the other card real quick. Maybe not, I don't know. Loveland Ranch. This is my Wounded Warrior card. Why don't you want to focus? It's having a hard time today. Finland walked slowly along the golden path that led him to Loveland Ranch. He saw the horses playing in the field, and he wished with all his heart to join them. He hoped they would see beyond his pain and let him in on the fun. This is like the Wounded Warrior, like you're on the golden path, you're walking, you look so, okay, hold on. They're guiding me to do this, like swipe the lens. So, all right, before we go to Finland, this Reiki that's coming out of here is clearing your third eye. And I swear that it did get much clearer. So your third eye needs a little bit of clearing because of the disillusionment that you may be feeling or the despair that you may be feeling. You can't clearly see what's going on right in front of you, which is all the serendipity and synchronicity and fun. This also goes back to staying in the present moment and not getting too far ahead of yourself. Because if you already knew that you were going to, if you already knew and saw that you were going to get a victory salad organically, like the whole big surprise would be blown if you already foresaw that, if Spirit let you see that through your third eye, then the whole surprise is kind of blown. And you did hear me say if Spirit let you see that through your third eye. That's big chills there, okay? Just because your third eyes, everyone's third eyes, God, I want to get into the logistics of the third eye. Everybody here knows how to use their third eye, and it's open, and you know how to use it and all of that. But just because you can use it and it's open and you're in your integrity doesn't mean that Spirit lets you see everything that's going to happen. So yeah, that's a big thing. So I think some of you think like, well, I can't see it. Maybe it's not going to happen. I can't see the when. I can't see the how. So maybe it's not coming because I can't see it. Every time I try to tap, yeah, big chills there. And the chills are coming up from the lower. I got chills up, like from the feet up. So all over, they're like, no, you have them all over. Because then they just gave them to me like all in my crown and stuff. So there's this balance that has to be maintained. And it's like, just because I can't see them doesn't mean they're not there. Spirit is shielding the right word? Spirit is covering up this part of your Akash. Akashic records can be future records as well, because if it's something that's part of this life's journey, then it's already been written, so to speak, in the Akash. Your destiny for this lifetime was already kind of preformed before you came in. And there's certain points on your path and on your journey that are already pre-written. But you don't get to see them all right away. And if they're really big things, regardless of their nature, whether you consider them good or bad, then you don't always get to see them right away. You don't get to see them in your mind's eye. Spirit doesn't allow you to see those parts of it. They're kind of shrouded on purpose. In this case, for everybody that's watching this, you've done all your work that you need to do to manifest. We've already seen this is, like, don't get concerned. You're already seeing this is like the pot of gold at the end of a very long rainbow that you've been following. And so stuff is going to manifest and come in. You may not know what it is. And so you're being guided to stay present. And I'll share with you how that's been working for me. I'm filming this on the 7/7 portal. They've guided me to add a little sage burning to this whole thing. So just, wow, and it's burning a lot. So let's just clear any fears around that. Little light language coming through. If you've never heard that before, it's okay. Just take what resonates, leave the rest. We do deeper dives into light language and these spirituality topics over on my other channel, TLC for the Soul. That's my 3rd channel. We go deeper in. We do a little bit more advanced work. Light language is a big part of that. But I don't censor it just because I feel like you may not know what it is. So just, you know. All right. Put a little sage down. We're going to let that keep going right here. Wow, it's got a lot of burning going on. Okay. We'll let that kind of burn over there. So stay present. So for me, right before the 7/7, there was an energetic gateway that opened up. So it opens up a little bit earlier. Let's say it was right before Independence Day, or what we call Freedom Day, spiritual Freedom Day on July the 4th. And there was an initiation or a test that came through about how I would react if I thought that my manifestation was not going to happen. And so you may be getting tested on that, like how you react to that. So I felt like in a way it was a little bit of like trickery from Spirit, but they told me audibly that something was going to happen before a certain date. Well, that date came and went. And I got a little bit like freaked out. I got a tiny bit freaked out. Not as much as I have in the past. I got a little bit, and I was like, okay, you've worked on your self-mastery skills. I've done, like, you know, I'm doing my deep transcendental meditations and stuff every day, worked on balancing my energy, all of that. So it's like it did come, and I had a little bit of like, oh my God, this thing might not happen. And then I was like, no, you know how to work with this. And so I had to like change up how I was greeting my everyday reality while I was, quote unquote, waiting for this manifestation to come. So rather than sit around each day and kind of like keep wondering, is it coming? Is it coming? Is it coming? Because again, on all of my channels, we've been talking about this, where it's like, well, you've got probably hundreds of confirmations now that whatever this big thing is you want is coming. Then rather than sit around and get more confirmations of the same information over and over again in different ways, I was kind of like, okay, every time I get nervous or anxious about this not being here yet, I need to focus on service. And so every time that I go into like a feeling of like, maybe it's not going to happen. For me, I pick up my camera, or I do something on one of my 3 channels. I do a card reading, I go do some ASMR storytelling, I go put out a channeling or something over on the TLC for the Soul. I work on my card decks, something to take my mind off of that. Because Spirit has already made it clear that things are manifesting. And so whenever the lower chakras pop in, or whenever something pops in and gets triggered, like, oh, maybe this isn't happening, maybe some past life memory where something never really did happen and it's a little PTSD coming in, then I just focus on my service work, and I feel much, much, much better, more energized, and more high vibe. So that is the other advice that you're being given. All right, what other decks do we want to do? Then we want to do an animal and a flower. Oh, this is very low on deck, very low on cards today. So you said animal first. I'm going to pull out the Animalkin Oracle by Sarah Wilder. I like this deck. Wait, do I have a card that's over here? Let me make sure I grab that. All right, coming over on your left, this is the Animal Kin Oracle. Just giving a good little knock. What else do you want to add to this message for us? Oh. Let's see. Now we're getting this mirrored energy again because we're getting 2 cards. We got 2 cards again. The first card we got is the Wombat, an exploration. I'm going to pop into the book about this. I'm going to put that there. Put it like that. And then we got the Chameleon with energy. So let's just pop that there. And I'm noticing they're green and violet. So we've got some heart chakra or some healing work or some deep green. And we've got some crown chakra and some trust and faith going on through the crown chakra. So let's just, I want to see the book. So Wombat. I'll try to show you the book, but the letters are so tiny. Wombat is an earth elemental card. So we already said that with the green energy. Exploration page number 38, which is an 11. So that's new. That's like our 2 of Wands or whatever, like getting ready to step through alternate dimensions, getting ready to step through into a new higher dimensional reality. So the Wombat says, you may not be able to see this, it's like I almost need a magnifying glass. The key to balancing all of life's callings is to explore innovative solutions. The Wombat is one of the world's largest burrowing animals. They excavate a burrow which becomes their daytime dwelling, venturing out as the sun sets to eat grasses, leaves, and roots. Hey, back to that salad again. They have very few predators in their natural habitat in Australia, meaning that they can wander and explore without many threats. Nice. A large solitary animal. It sounds very hermit cardish. The Wombat shows us that self-exploration as well as real-world exploration is essential to our soul's growth and development. They also teach us of the importance of having a beautiful home base in which we feel is ours and ours alone, physically, mentally, and spiritually. A true master of balancing duty and passion. We've been getting a lot about balance in this reading so far. We had the Boji stones come in. We had sacral chakra stuff coming in. We were getting chills through the upper and the lower chakras. He feels very hermit cardish. He feels like, but he feels like a master hermit card guy. So like you're still on a little bit of a solo exploration here. Regardless of what this manifestation is, you're being asked to use all your self-mastery skills again. None of this is should be news to you, like getting outside in nature. Like I just talked about with the example, like focus on what you're passionate about while you're waiting. Dive into things you love. Yesterday I wanted to do this reading, but at the same time, every time I looked at my yard, I was like, gosh, there's so much stuff I need to do in this yard. No matter how long I'm going to stay in this place, because, maybe I don't want to stay here very long, maybe I want to move on soon. So who knows? And I've been looking at the yard and it's like, well, just because I may not want to stay here very long doesn't mean that I don't respect the land, that I don't take care of my sacred space, that I'm a good steward of wherever I'm at, regardless of how long I'm there. If I'm there a day or if I'm there 10 years or 100 years, I'm a good steward of where I'm at. And so this is about service to Gaia. Service to Gaia. I'm getting big chills there, as well as like doing your own magical work. Whoever you relate with, if you relate to the witch realm or the fae realm or service to Gaia or however you see yourself as an earth guardian or whatever, taking care of your sacred space within and around your home is paramount to your spiritual journey and your experience of being here on the planet. It's part of the reason you came, to help raise the vibe in your area. So while you're waiting, get jiggy with it, like get magical with it. set up your homestead in however it is. So I used to live in like a condo, and I had a way of setting up, I called it the temple tree house, and I created like a whole sacred space. I had the 4 corners set up at the perimeters of my place. I would call in the directions and stuff and do magical work around there. Because I was such a good steward of that little place, I was gifted an actual home with a little bit of property, a much bigger space to oversee and to be a guardian of. And so I don't take that work lightly, and we are exploring that further over on TLC for the Soul. We have a special group called the Rainbow Rose Order. It's an amalgamation of Sisters for the Sword and Brotherhood of the Rose. If that even tingles you at all in any place within your auric field, then you may want to go check out that video. There's an initiation that I just recorded over there. I'll try to link it in this one. It's for those who want to take your earth guardianship work a little bit deeper. You will know if you are called. It's not for everybody. It's a smallish group. I don't know yet how many people. They're saying 40. Oh yeah, okay, 40-ish that I'm leading over there, and you'll know if it's for you. We that's all I need to say about that. But being a good steward of your land. All right, let's look at chameleon. So that was the earth, and chameleon. Let's take a deep breath. I feel that Reiki really strongly right now. I want to thank the realms that are sending the Reiki energy through. Chameleon is a fire elemental, and it's page number 56, which is another 11. Okay, you guys, you have mirrored energy on the board again. This was on page, whatever it was, 38, that equaled 11. This is on page 56, equals 11. And he's energy, so let me go bop over here. Chameleon is draw from within to maximize external influence and shift of perception. Chameleons are unique and curious creatures. With their independently mobile eyes, they can achieve full 360-degree vision, keeping track of everything happening around them without moving or exerting much energy. The chameleon guides us to use our energy and internal resources wisely to prevent wastage, depletion, and openness to threats. They show us the importance of energy balance and protection, and knowing the right times to retreat and then when to emerge. They teach us that we have such a great energy body too, which we should draw from in order to achieve desired outcomes within our environment and those we encounter. It's kind of the same thing we just talked about with the wombat and the exploration. It's also about a little bit about being the eye within the storm. It's the same, it's mirrored energy. It's like the same message in a different way. This all goes back to, this is probably not the first time you're hearing this message of all these things you can do to help you keep going. And so Spirit is helping us motivate you to keep going. And so you may see these messages mirrored in other ways, other readers that you're watching, other channels that you're watching, other way showers out in your environment, the messages that you're getting, that you're receiving, the messages you're receiving internally from your guides, things that show up in your everyday reality. I think you are able to use your master senses and get messages in a variety of different ways. Also using your energy wisely, going with the ebb and flow of how things work for you. So yesterday I had a really active outdoor day. I probably worked a little too hard outside. It was kind of warm, but I just felt driven to like chop down old tree, not big trees, but take out dead bushes and plants and tree limbs and work on my fairy ring that's around this tree and do some flower bedding work, and also look into permaculture on my property and how I can help the soil regain its strength and vitality. And so I was learning a lot yesterday about that and just following some new channels on YouTube on how I could help be a good steward of my stuff. And then today I woke up and I was like, oh, I'm really tired. For me, this is what I call the third eye day. I use a galactic calendar that kind of has each day kind of for a different kind of a chakra. Each day of the week is dedicated to a different chakra. So today's my third eye day, more of my yin day, more of a day where I go within. And so I'm doing a lot of channeling. I'm doing some client readings today. So speaking of that, if there's any services you're interested in, if I vibe with you, you vibe with me or whatever. How does I vibe with you? If I vibe with you and you vibe with me. And there's any personal healing work or readings or shamanic work or anything like that, shamanic work, all my services are on my website. That link is also in the show notes. Be happy to help. That's what I'm here for. So there's also this balance of going within and being a good steward of your own energy space. All right, they're telling me we've got one more card. I don't know, with my favorite readers, every time I hear that, like when D at Consciousness Evolution Journey and Soul Man is like probably one of my most favorite readers ever in the whole wide realm. Actually, his soul sister, I'm sure from sometime we're part of the same soul group. But every time I hear her say, and I'm going to draw one final card, I'm like, oh, darn, this reading's almost over. I want to stay here with you forever. Anyway, so this is what is this? Flower Therapy deck by Doreen and Robert Reeves. I want to say it's by Robert. All right. What's our last little message here to wrap up this messages from the fairy realms? Give it to me, baby. Magnify your intentions, baby's breath. Choose a specific, what with the focus? Choose a specific goal to work toward. Your energy is spread out among too many ideas. Please bring your focus back to the key intention and let your angels help. So this happened. I got this card yesterday too, so I can speak about it. What happened there? Well, I have 3 channels now. That's one thing. I have 3 YouTube. I've always had 3 YouTube channels, but I just haven't really been spending a lot of time on the other 2. And so each day I kind of picked a focus. This is what helped me. So maybe this will help you, something similar. So yesterday was kind of like my fairy day. And I said, well, I'm just going to spend time with the Fae today. I'm also going to, I talked to like the angelic realm and Archangel Michael, who helps with soul purpose and soul mission. And I was like, please, they always kind of say to me, like, relief is being offered to you. Do you accept it? Because you have free will choice and they can't just intervene. So every day, if they say that, I'm kind of like, yeah, bring in whatever relief you need to help me on my path. And so yesterday I was guided to do all of that yard work kind of stuff. But it wasn't. It was kind of like this higher intention, like, oh, I just want to spend time with the Fae. And so I put together everything for this reading, like all the thumbnails, and I envisioned, like, what is this reading going to look like? I spent time with the Fae just in spirit. And I was guided to all these cool, channels. So I wasn't all over the place, like, what am I going to do at TLC for the Soul Channel? And what am I going to do on the Storytelling Channel, which is the Tammy Lynn Chambers channel? And what am I going to do over here at Loveland? And I have cards I need to work on and books I need to write. I just kind of was like, I'm just going to spend time with the Fae today. And I'm going to let the higher realms help guide me through my day and just open it up to have the most high vibe experience that I can. And rather than worrying about, and like some parts of my house need to be cleaned, and I see that, and I used to be that very like Virgo oriented, like honestly, I mean, if there was something that needed to be cleaned, I was like on top of it right away. If there was clothes that needed to be washed, I had to make sure they were washed, dried, folded, put away, like all at the same time. And for me personally, like my energy doesn't work like that anymore. That's not how it works in the higher realms. There's this level of self-mastery you get to where some of that perfectionism kind of goes away. And so like I washed some clothes last night and I put them in the dryer and like they stayed in the dryer, and I'll probably fold them sometime today so I can wash another load. And so it's more just flowing through your life. And like, I didn't get all upset that they're in the dryer overnight. I'm like, okay, there's a couple of wrinkles. I have wrinkle release or whatever on my dryer. I'll just run the wrinkle run the wrinkle release and let that come out. Like, I'm not going to freak out about it. Instead, I went and I played outside and I had an amazing day, better than I would have had if I had like just kind of done some of the things that I had set out to do. Like, Spirit knows all my intentions. Spirit also knows all the things I need to get done as well, probably better than I know them. And so I find things and I get things done on a timetable that's a little bit different. So if you can raise your vibe with some of the suggestions and advice that's been given through this reading today, then I think you're going to find yourself in a different mind space, in a different heart space, and in a different dimensional space. It feels more floaty. It feels more airy. It feels a little bit more self-forgiving. And it definitely feels a little bit more like letting, like you're sharing the wheel with your guides. Like, you know what you need to get done, and your guides are helping you manage your energy flows to get things accomplished in a fun way that's more high vibe, that there's no worry and stress. And that's the space that you're being invited to enter into if you so desire. If you so choose, it's available to you. You don't have to hang out in the heavy spaces. The world is full of heavy spaces. It's still not 100%, high vibe. There's still a lot of shadow work that has to be cleared. But that's what we're here for. And the more you raise your vibe, part of your service work is just being here as a conduit of high vibeness. The more you raise your vibe, the more that emanates out from your auric field, the more your lands around your home are high vibe because you're working with them in a certain way, like that victory garden. Then the more that helps raise the vibe of the planet, then just through not even consciously thinking about it, you're doing grid work and you're doing earth work and you're being an earth guardian and you're being a good steward. And definitely the Fae love you. The Fae, like the nature elementals, not necessarily the Fae. Like when I say Tuatha that is an ancestor, an ancestral line, an ancestral lineage. Those were real 3D folks who ascended and moved underground and are helping to, they're part of my ancestral line. And so they help direct us and guide us just like the Telosians under Shasta. They're part of an underground realm of very high vibe beings on our planet. But these messages are also coming from the nature elementals. So another just quick example, and then we're gonna wrap this up, is there's this painted rock I've been seeing up at the little park that I walk to every day, up by the medicine wheel. And I left it there for the longest time because I'm like, obviously it's meant for somebody else. And every day I would see it and I was like, whoops, still there. It's a big old rock. And maybe I'll do a short of it the other, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But yesterday I was outside and I was like, I want to make a little fairy ring around the only really big, super big tree I have on my property. I have one big tree on my property. So I'm like, I need to be a good steward of this tree. He's like the one big tree I have on my property. I mean, there's others like that are part of like a green belt kind of a thing. But on my property, there's this one big guy. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to put a fairy ring around you because you're super cute. And I need to be working with you more, be hanging with you more. And I filmed a video out there the other day for, I think TLC for the Soul Channel. Oh, it was a 7/7 portal video. And so I'm like, you know what? This tree wants that painted rock on it. And this little fairy ring wants that painted rock. It says like, oh my God, it's something about camping and the lake, like a lake and a camping kind of a signpost. And so I started to take a walk back up to the medicine wheel yesterday because I'm like, I'm going to get that stone if it's still there. If it's meant for me, it's still going to be there. And along the way, right away, Spirit was like, look at that little piece of trash over there. And look at the nature elementals. Like, look at that little piece of trash over there. So I felt like it was my service work and my duty to be a good steward, even of this land that I was walking through that was not on my property. Like all this trash, there wasn't a ton of it, but they kept showing me like, here's a piece of plastic, here's a thing. So on the way up to the medicine wheel, I started gathering the little trash, and I'm like, this is my service work, and my reward is the painted rock. And so I went, I'm going to get emotional. This sign is so interesting. It's so sweet. It's like so reciprocal. I picked up the trash. I helped beautify those lands, which is a very beautiful space. It's very beautifully maintained anyway. Picked up that trash, threw it away up at the top of the park, went over, saw my painted rock, picked it up, gave gratitude for it because it's so cute, came back and put it down at the base of the fairy tree. So that's kind of the magic of the day that happened yesterday. And that's what the type of magical realms you can tap into if you allow yourself to. And if you can pull yourself off, I pull myself off my phone. I actually left my phone sitting for most of yesterday. I was like, I don't care what comes through. Even if I just really didn't. And I set it down and I kind of fell in, just like the fairies. If any of you are following the fairies of Lemonlock over on my other channel, you kind of like, it wasn't really a rabbit hole. It was kind of like I just let myself fall in and flow. And if we end with anything, that's some big advice there. You'll really have fun, even if you can't do it all the time, even if you take a day off from your work or your studies or whatever, and just allow yourself to fall in and see what magic you encounter. That's it. All right, my loves, I'm going to end this here. I want to thank you all so much for joining me for this fun reading we had with the Fae and the nature elementals, and we will see you all again soon in the next reading. Take care. This episode was brought to you by Loveland Tarot Shop, where spirituality seekers pop in to see what's next on their path. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you again soon.